This episode of AMSA TV is proudly brought to you by Australian General Practice Training, whose video competition is open for all students. We've heard a lot about healthcare reform recently, much of it here from Canberra. So in this episode of AMSA TV, we'll have a look at some recent changes and how they affect us as medical students.
Recently, the Council of Australian Governments agreed that the Commonwealth will become the majority funder of public hospitals. They will fund 60% of the efficient cost of public hospital services delivered to public patients. There will be a single public hospital funding pool, and local hospital networks will be responsible for hospital management and hospital performance. From a student perspective, one positive is that there will be a dedicated stream of funding for research and training, with the Commonwealth funding 60% of this.
AMSA had hoped that a federal takeover of health would result in an environment where one level of government was responsible for the entire spectrum of medical education, from student through to senior registrar. The current arrangement appears to have fallen short of this mark, and concerningly, a new layer of bureaucracy has been added. Recently, the federal government announced that there'll be more training places for general practice, there'll be more opportunities for pre-vocational general practice exposure, and there'll be a significant increase in specialist training positions. Many of these will be in private, rural and regional settings.
In 2008, COAG announced $190 million would be provided for clinical teaching and training infrastructure. $496 million has been provided to enable growth in clinical training capacity in new sectors. New training facilities will also be provided in currently underserviced areas.
Healthcare reform is part of AMSA's core business, and looking into the future, with a large number of medical students coming through the system, ensuring quality clinical training is AMSA's absolute priority. True, we have seen some good announcements in this area. However, defining a quality clinical placement is something that's hard to do. So what is AMSA doing about it? Well, later in the year we'll be launching a medical education survey where we'll be asking you what makes a quality clinical placement. Secondly, AMSA will be advocating to the medical deans, to government, to the Australian Medical Council and other relevant bodies. And we will be calling for a national body to define and determine Australia's clinical training capacity. Once this is done, AMSA believes this organisation should have the power to restrict medical student numbers to ensure that quality clinical training capacity is not exceeded.
To find out more, please visit us at amsa.org.au or contact your local AMSA rep.